Hello and welcome everyone. Good morning. Uh, hope all of you are fine. Hope all of you are, you know, are out of the festive spirit now because the Diwali is over. The season has already started. We're already in the season. So let's not waste more time and start this session today. First of all, I would like to tell you that this is the 33rd day of this session and 21st day of our the intense phase that we have. So thank you so much for being there. Thank you so much for all the support, all the things that you are doing and sharing all your daily tasks that you're doing. So I would like to start your day by welcoming you to this Neutralite Live 360 session. Uh, Today we have a very interesting topic. It's called that why do we always have craving of food even when we are not hungry, right? So cravings, often irresistible, have a profound impact on our eating habits and subsequently on our overall well-being. The science behind craving is a complex interplay of physiological, psychological, and even cultural factors. Our brains are hardwired to seek out rewarding foods, and these cravings can be influenced by stress, emotions, or learned behaviors. We will dive into the fascinating world of our desire for specific foods and understand why these mechanisms can empower us to make healthier choices and lead to more balanced lives, right? And let's also explore the science behind our cravings and learn how to control our relationship with food for better well-being. But before we start the session, we'd like to call upon Dr. Sham. Dr. Sham, as you know, he's the Director of Innovation and Science, and he for the leading emerging market innovations and science portfolio. He's leading India Innovation and Science Centers based out of Gurgaon, Bangalore, Chennai, and Madurai. Dr. Sham, as you know, has received his PhD from University of Texas, and he's a postdoctoral fellowship from Harvard Medical School, Boston. So, he has shared a video with me of him. Today he couldn't be with us in this session, but he has shared his video with me, which I'm going to play with you all. So just let me know if you know the sound.
Good morning, dear friends. Today I will invite you to consider a natural process we all face, the aging of our immune system, a phenomenon known as immunosenescence. It is like the weakening of a once robust defense fortress, affecting the body's ability to fend off invaders and heal itself. Imagine a sentinel guard, the thymus, which trains our body's defenders, the T cells. As we age, this guard grows weary and tired, and fewer fresh recruits are sent out. This means our body becomes less adept at recognizing and fighting new infections. We also witness a changing of the guard within these defenders. The balance tips from fresh-faced recruits who are fresh, energetic, eager, ready to tackle new challenges, to seasoned soldiers or veterans who are specialized but less versatile. These veterans, while experienced, are less effective at responding to new threats. So our immune system response becomes less vigorous, and it is as if the communication within our defense system slows and the response to rallying cries like vaccines is muted, right? So additionally, our first responders, the ones who goes into the battlefield first, that act as the initial defense against invaders, become less efficient. This leads to a state of persistent low-grade inflammation and unwelcome guest that can contribute to a variety of age-related conditions. So even our specialized cells forces, these are specialized forces cells that deal with cellular threats, become less sharp, and the rich tapestry of our gut, which houses a significant part of our immune system, changes, potentially altering our overall defenses. So, but there's only one hope, that's nutrition. A well nourished body can support a more resilient immune system. Key nutrients like vitamin C and E, zinc, selenium, vitamin D, B's, proteins, omega 3 fatty acids can all help in maintain our immune system's vigor. But it has to be in your body to support the immune system. If your body is deficient in these key nutrients, the effects are not good, right? I mean, your immune system starts aging. It has nothing to protect itself, nothing to regenerate, reinvigorate itself. So, a diet rich in varied and whole foods can also nurture the gut's environment, bolstering our body's natural defenses. While we cannot stop the passage of time, we can nourish our bodies, giving our immune system the reinforcement it needs to age gracefully. So, while the march of time is inevitable, right, through thoughtful nutrition, we can support our body's sentinels and defenders, adding life to our years and staying strong, healthy for as long as possible, meaning maintaining great health span. So wishing you a great Monday and all the best. I'll see you live in a couple of days more. Thank you. Have a good day. Bye-bye.
So thank you so much, Dr. Sham, for this enlightenment on, the topic of immunity, topic on how we can defend how nutrition can defend, so many diseases, so many, factors that will affect our well-being. So having said that, Dr. Sham, I would like to call upon the stage someone who has immense experience in this field, and she has been a flag bearer of transformational journey. Amita Mehta is a nutritionist who graduated in food and nutrition from University of Calcutta. She also has a post-graduation degree from in food and science from Pondicherry University. She has over 2 years of experience in field of nutrition, both as a teacher and nutritionist, handling various lifestyle disorders and managing clients from varied background. So now over to you, Amrita, and we are very excited to know what you have in store for us. Over to you.
Hello, good morning, everyone. And thank you, Akhil, so much for this lovely introduction. And hello, everyone. Welcome to the 21st day of intensive phase, and hope everyone is doing really well. So let me share my screen first, and we'll talk about what in store for today's topic. I hope the screen is visible to everyone.
Yes.
Okay, thank you. Thank you for the confirmation. So, welcome everyone and good morning. We are today talking about the science behind craving. So, it's an very interesting topic and very important for everyone as well, because this is something that we have experienced, all of us have experienced maybe once in their lifetime. So, what is the reason? What is craving? We'll first delve into the fact what is craving, what is the reason that we get these cravings, and how we can manage those. So, let's dive into it. So before we go into any deeper, we first need to discuss what the word cravings means for everyone, because everyone has a very different version of it, and what exactly scientifically the word craving means. What do you know about craving and what it means to have food craving consistently? So we'll discuss about that. So craving is basically just imagine a scenario that you are going through a road and you're going for some work or you're coming back from work and you suddenly see an ice cream shop. And now you are not thinking about ice cream before, but now as you see the ice cream shop, you suddenly you got the uncontrollable urge to eat the ice cream or have the ice cream. So that's like something, it's not related to your hunger. You are not hungry that time. There is no need for your body for nourishment that time, but you still feel the need or urge to eat the particular food that you have seen or you have got the smell for. So that's what craving is. It's basically an intense desire for a specific food at a certain time, If you notice about our cravings, if you see what kind of foods that we generally crave, it's generally foods that are high in salt and sugar and fat, because those are the tastes that as human we crave more. And before we go any further in this topic, I would like to highlight one point, that craving is like very normal thing. It's not something that need to be shameful for, that needs to be very concerned about, because craving, almost 90% of human beings experience cravings some at some point in their lifetime. But when it becomes problem, why are we discussing this topic today, when it becomes a challenge, because when craving gets uncontrollable, when your habit, all your eating habits is basically like associated with your craving is controlling you and you are not controlling your cravings, that is the time when cravings get little challenging. And that is the thing what we need to manage, or we need to learn from today's session. So we'll discuss about three different topics today, or three different headings today. You can see here in my slide as well. There is hunger, there is desire to eat, and there is craving. These are three completely different things, and we'll deal with it differently. So the first thing is hunger. So what is hunger? It's basically a physiological sensation. So whenever your blood glucose level goes down, your body basically gives a signal to your brain that you need to eat. It's basically linked to your body's need for nourishment and your blood glucose level, and it's completely physiological. It's a physiological phenomenon. And when you get hungry, your body needs proper nourishment that time, so your brains sends a signal to you, and you feel hungry and you eat food that time. So hunger is something really natural and really normal, and it's related to your body's physiological sensations. Now there is desire to eat. That is a little bit different from hunger. Desire to eat basically is a psychological desire, it's a psychological cue. It's not exactly a physiological phenomenon. So, what is the desire to eat, or appetite as we call it? It's basically a sensory cue. Maybe you have went to an event and they are serving food there. Maybe you have taken your food before going there, but when you see the food there, it's like serving some kind of delicious food or a three-course meal. You suddenly start feeling hungry again. You feel the urge to eat. As I said, maybe somewhere you going, or you see the ice cream truck somewhere, and you feel that you need to have the ice cream. You win somewhere, and you get the smell of a particular delicious food that you really love, and suddenly you have the urge to eat. So all of these, if you can see from the example, is triggered by your sensory cues. It's the sense of sight, smell, the thought of food. All of that can trigger the desire to eat. There is nothing actually related to physiology, or there is no need for nourishment for your body. It doesn't matter that you are hungry or not, your blood sugar level is low or not. It's just simply the desire to have the particular kind of food. And the third thing, or a stronger version of the desire to eat, is craving. Craving is when there is an uncontrollable urge and you cannot do anything, or you cannot satisfy yourself without having the food. It's basically you cannot subside it until you have the food, the thing that you are desiring. And the thing about craving is that you don't have to even have the sight of the food or the smell of the food. You don't have to see it in front of you. Just the particular thought of the food. Maybe you were thinking about potato chips, you were thinking about French fries. So that itself is causing you to crave the food itself. So it's not necessarily hunger. It's basically a urge that is beyond the desire to eat, or beyond the appetite. And what causes craving is there is nothing to related to our body's physiology. It's basically something related to our brain. Our brain is the key player when it comes to craving. There is a complex psychological and sensory aspect to craving, which we will discuss about in coming slides. So I hope these three concepts is clear to everyone: what is hunger and what's desire to eat, and the stronger version of that is craving. If you go beyond craving, it goes to addiction. But craving is not as extreme as addiction, and we shouldn't let be craving be that. So we'll discuss about further what the things, what how our brain basically deals with craving, and how our brain basically triggers all these responses. So we'll discuss a little bit about our brain, our neurobiology, and how we get this craving. So if we talk about our neurobiology, there is a very tiny region in our brain, which is basically 1% of our brain's weight, which is called hypothalamus. If you have probably heard the name. It's totally it. If you consider the total brain, it's only 1% of weight by weight in our brain's region, but it has immense impact on our body. So whenever you see you, as I said, I was giving the example of ice cream shop. You are going through a road and you see the ice cream shop, suddenly have the desire for having the ice cream. What triggers that? Basically, when you see or you smell your favorite food, the foods that we desire, the foods generally which are high in salt and sugar and those things, our brain, the hypothalamus, the tiny region, it actually activates a pleasure system. So craving is directly related to the reward center or rewarding system of our brain. So whenever we eat a particular food that we really like, we get a feel of pleasure. Our dopamine and serotonin, those which are pleasure hormones, which say that those levels get high, and we feel that pleasure, and your brain automatically rewires your system like that, that you seek that particular food again and again to get the feeling of pleasure. It basically connects the food to the reward center of your brain, or to the reward system of your brain. So that is how craving is a recurrent thing. It can be a recurrent thing, and it can be uncontrollable, because you are not actually seeking the food, you are actually seeking the feeling of pleasure through the food, which rewires our brain. So that's the basic of craving sciences. So we'll discuss about what are the different ways actually your body can control cravings, because your brain actually controls things through hormone. There are different cues to that, and what kind of cravings you can get. We'll discuss about that. So there are a few different kinds of cravings. There are multiple types, and people get different kinds of cravings as well. So there are generally the most common things that we all crave is sweet. Sweet craving is basically related to like sweet, sugary things that we crave, that like chocolates, candies, any kind of pastries, baked goods. Those are the things that most people crave in general. Sugary craving is generally related to our serotonin level, which is known as the happy hormone. The serotonin level, when it goes down, it's basically secreted from our gut. You generally crave this kind of sweet food for the pleasurable feel. And then there is salty craving. Some people generally crave salty foods as well, which are fried. There is a theory that salty foods, we do crave salty foods with related to the imbalance of electrolyte in our body, or the need for electrolyte in our body. But sometimes it can be because of just the mouth feel of salty foods, and the crunch and the flavor that comes from it as well. So that there is that as well. And then carb craving. A lot of people have cravings for carb rich foods, like maybe bread, pasta, rice, those things. They cannot go by their day without having that. So that carb craving is basically related to our brain, because our brain cannot function without having carb in the system. The brain is carb craving is related to that, and as well the serotonin level, as we are discussing before. And there is fatty and greasy craving as well. If you know that the food, the mouth feel that comes from food, if you have noticed that all the fried food or all the high fat food generally tastes good to everyone, because the mouth feel or the palatability of food comes from fat itself. So fatty or greasy food is basically seeking that palatability or seeking that mouthfeel that comes from fat. So we generally crave any kind of food that's like pizza, burger, those which are generally very high in fat. We generally crave that. And there is spicy craving as well. Basically, foods that are some people have cravings for food that are high in spice. Hot chilies are there. Those kind of craving. It basically numbs any kind of other discomfort going on in your body. So to shift the focus, we generally crave for spicy food. And there is savory and umami craving as well, which is savory or umami is known as the fifth taste. So basically, rich, meaty things or savory things, we crave for that. And there is one very different type from all of that, which is non-food craving. Non-food craving is actually linked to a clinical condition which is known as pica. Pica is basically when you're craving for things like ice, chocolate, which are not at all foods. So these are linked to micronutrient like vitamins and minerals deficiencies. So these are some few different kinds of cravings that you can have, and all of these is related to our brain or how our hypothalamus is rewiring us. And now we will discuss more about trigger, because you have known about craving. We have already discussed what is craving, what are the things you generally crave. And we have already discussed about how our brain, our hypothalamus is basically activating the reward system for us. So we keep seeking the pleasure feeling from having our favorite food or having the foods that we are craving. But we need to know what are the things that triggers our cravings, why it is important, because that way you will be able to manage your cravings in a better way. So first is emotional and psychological. We as human being are prone to go under stress, under different kinds of emotional scenarios. And if you have noticed that all of this is linked to some kind of food habits, like if we are under some kind of stress, some people generally tend to eat. If there is some kind of happiness, we are happy with something, we want to celebrate, we then eat food. So emotional and psychological things are very important when it comes to craving. So those triggers generally act like a very good cue. It gives a very good cue to your cravings. And then there is sense organ as well. Sometimes, as I said, if you see your favorite food, you may not be even thinking about the particular food, but you now see your favorite food, so now you want to have that particular food. You smell your particular favorite food, now you want to have the food. So our sensory organs also play some kind of trick into our brain and make us think that we are craving, we're hungry and we're craving that kind of food. Then there is a few social and cultural situations as well. For example, I was giving, you went to a wedding, you went to office parties, all of these are associated with food. Maybe you are not thinking about having a heavy meal or heavy food or fatty or greasy food, but now you have went to a wedding and the kind of food they're serving is generally very heavy. So now you're craving that kind of food, you want to have that food. So socially and culturally also we have that like habit we are having from childhood itself, to have the fatty and greasy foods, or have the foods that we are craving. And there is a few learned habit as well. For example, every day when you are watching TV or you are watching your favorite TV program, you tend to have a snack in that time, you tend to have popcorn in that time. So if you repeat this for a few days, your brain automatically rewires having that particular snack or food with associated with the habit of watching TV. So next time, anytime you watch TV, you will start craving that particular kind of snack because your brain has associated this to work. It's a learned habit. And then there is deprivation and restriction as well. So if someone is going on for a prolonged diet, or having very prolonged fasting, or having very restrictive diets of some sort, they generally have this kind of cravings even more and even stronger, because you are actually depriving your body from the necessary nourishment or the necessary foods. Then there is a self reward system. Its self reward system is basically again our brain playing tricks on us. For example, there is things like I have followed diet very well for 2 days. I have not taken anything bad. I am not doing anything good, bad. I'm exercising. I'm following diet. So now it's time for now as the weekend come, it's time for cheat day. Or maybe I have walked a mile today, so now I have to have that particular ice cream that I crave for. So that's how our brain reverse. You have done something good, so now you want to reward yourself with the food. And it often's like maybe previously you were just like 1 mile walk, and after that you will have it. But now later, what if you keep doing this, what happens is your rewarding like urge goes very frequent, and you start having this kind of cravings very frequently. And there is medications as well. There is a few kinds of foods, few kinds of medications which basically rewires our brains uh, dopamine center, and we crave foods more. And there is hormonal changes, especially for women around pregnancy and menstruation cycle, where the hormonal ups and downs actually makes us to crave food more. And we will discuss about more on the hormone side, because there are a few important hormones that are uh, playing a very important role in cravings. So first is ghrelin, which is called the hunger hormone. It's actually the level of the ghrelin is actually related to your appetite. When your blood glucose level falls, your ghrelin actually sends a signal to your brain that you need to eat, and ghrelin levels are generally up before eating the food, and it goes down after you have the food, so it cues hunger to your body. And leptin is exactly the opposite. It works exactly the opposite. It's called satiety hormone. As ghrelin is called hunger hormone, leptin is called satiety hormone. Leptin is what discovered maybe 30 to 40 years back, and it's a very well studied hormone. Leptin is basically, it gives your body the cue that you have taken enough, you have eaten enough, your body is well nourished, and you are full. The feeling of fullness is very important in controlling appetite. There are some congenital disorders where leptin deficiencies happens genetically, so that is linked to weight management issues and a lot of other issues as well. Then there is insulin. We all know about that. Insulin is related to our glucose, blood glucose level management. If you have consistent high level of insulin, that's an issue. Insulin is basically, whenever your insulin level goes up in the body, our blood glucose level goes down, and that sends it's called reactive hypoglycemia, and that sends a cue of hunger to the body. And there is serotonin and dopamine. Serotonin is a pleasure hormone. It's released from our gut, and low level of serotonin, actually, if you have low level or imbalance of serotonin, it's actually linked to carb craving. You crave carb rich foods more if you have less serotonin in your system. It's a neurotransmitter actually. And then though there is the last but not the least is dopamine. Dopamine is a pleasure, as I said, is a pleasure hormone, and there is something called dopamine reward reaction. When you see your favorite food and you smell your favorite food, dopamine actually activates that reward system. It's a very complex sensory reaction that goes on in our brain. It activates the reward system, multiple reward systems, and you keep seeking that food, and you keep seeking that pleasurable feel. So whenever we smell our favorite food, that itself triggers the dopamine release. But when you have the food, the dopamine level actually goes up. And there is a few other ways as well than food that you can keep your dopamine level. You can trigger your dopamine level. The food is one of the very easy thing, and you keep seeking it more and more because of that pleasure feeling. So these are the 5 important hormones that plays a very important role when it comes to craving. And there is few health challenges related to craving, as you can say. So what are the impacts of craving that we need to know? So first is digestive issues. If you are having, as I said, the foods that we generally crave are generally high in salt, fat, sugar. So all of this, if you are having in very frequent manner, if you're having in high quantity, it can cause digestive issues, and it can cause some long-term health risk as well, because having high amount of fat or high amount of sugar or high amount of salt on a regular basis, as we all know, is related to heart issues, diabetes, and other issues of other lifestyle disorders as well. So the long-term health risk is a challenge. And then there is nutritional imbalance as well, because foods that we generally crave are not that rich in nutrient. So we have to think about, so if you have the nutritional, if you keep having the foods that you're craving, the nutritional imbalance is one issue that you can face. And then there is weight management issue as well, and the emotional well-being, because craving is generally, some people associate craving after having the food that they crave. They feel the feeling of guilty and shame, and oh, I have ruined my regime, I have ruined my health. That kind of challenges are generally there. So it's impacts your emotional status as well. And there are some effects which are the emotional effects. Some of things are very what I can say, it's very mild, but there is sometimes it can go up to very challenging things like eating disorders as well. So these are the few health challenges that related to craving. So now the last things that we need to discuss is, we have discussed about craving. We know what triggers it, but we need to know how we can manage cravings. So the very first thing that we need to do is reduce our stress level. So if you are stressed about something and you have the food, the stress doesn't automatically go away. It's maybe subsided for some time, and then it again comes back. So you have to manage your stress level. You have to stop having like habit of emotional eating, or slow down. You have to do meditation, breathing exercises, yoga regularly, properly body, addressing the issues that is causing you stress, to have a more permanent solution. Then have plenty of water, be well hydrated, because sometimes our body, the signal of thirst and the signal of hunger is almost similar. Our body confuses between hunger and thirst. As a nutritionist, anyone who have craving, especially at the night time, I generally tell them to have a glass of water first, wait for half an hour, and then see if the craving goes off, which generally works. Because whenever you are not well hydrated, your body gives you the signal, which you mixes up with hunger and craving. So you have to drink plenty of water to be hydrated and to not have those kind of cravings. And then there is adequate sleep. We have already discussed about that. Sleep is very important. If you don't get the 6 to 8 hours of sleep, it messes up your mood, it messes up your hormonal level, your day-to-day activity, so you crave food more. And then there is some few dietary things that we have to recognize as well, or we have to consider as well. First is eating your protein. Every day in my groups, I keep telling my participants that include protein rich dietary protein sources or protein rich food in your plate, no matter what you are having, what meal you are having. Because protein, we have already discussed, I think in previous session we have discussed about thermic effect of food. So protein basically takes longer to be digested, so that your body gives your body the signal that there is something in the system. So have you you are already full. So eating enough protein is very important. Then there is change of scenario. As I said, if you are going through a road every day and there is an ice cream shop and then making you crave ice cream, then please change the road, so that you give a conscious signal to your brain that you are not indulging into the craving. And avoid being hungry. Having a regular high meal pattern of breakfast, lunch and dinner, all having in the time, having a mid morning and evening snack in between, the things that you are following right now, all of that regular eating pattern and regular sleeping pattern actually can help you manage your cravings a lot better. So this is all from my side today. I hope you have learned something about craving. You have learned what triggers it, how you can manage it, and what are the things that you need to do to manage your craving levels. So this is the activity of the day for you today. Give an example of high protein meal plan. You can share it in your respective groups. So thank you, everyone. Thanks. I hope you have learned something today. Over to you, Akhil.
Thank you, Amrita. And without wasting more time, I will like to call upon stage Meenal. Meenal, over to you.
Thank you, Akhil. Good morning, everyone. A very warm welcome to today's session. So let's get started. Let's get started with some warm-up moves on the mat. I would request you all to keep some prop handy, something like a cushion or a ball, anything which can be squeezed, because we'll do both the windmills and the leg raises today. Let's get started with some warm-up poses. And here we go. We'll start with the bridge. Your feet, your hip, and your shoulders all in one straight line. I want you to tuck your core nicely in as you rise up. So it's gonna get squeezed as you lift. Okay? So squeeze it up as you lift and then come down. So this will only come down, but you will not leave it on the mat. So when you're rising up, you're not arching your back. Again, this is squeezed all the time. So here you go. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So when you're lifting up, you're squeezing, engaging all the muscle group around your hip bone, your tailbone, all the muscle group supporting your knees and supporting your ankles. And 5, 6, 7, squeeze, 8, 9, 10. 10 more. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Squeeze it up. 7, 8, 9, 10. Bring it back. Again, each and every vertebrae on the mat. No gap between the spine and the mat. Let's do the second cycle, but we'll do a slight variation. I think by now everybody must be very comfortable and okay doing glute bridges. It is one way in which actually you strengthen all your muscle group without putting any pressure on the joints. Spine, knees, ankles, they all stay comfortable. Knees shouldn't fall in because it happens that when you're pulling it all up all the time, sometimes you let your knees fall in. Don't do it. Keep your knees nice and open as you go up and down. In the second set, we're doing the movement up and down, but we will do a hold after that. So, when you have that great burn happening, then do not just come back, then actually keep it pushed up. Keep those glutes on fire when the fire is there. Let's go. A nice deep inhale, lengthen that spine, squeeze up, squeeze, navel, and then go 1, 2, 3. So you see this movement is not going down. This movement is pushing up and up and up all the time. So it goes 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. 10 more. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Relax back. Squeeze as you come down. Again, lengthen your spine. Both the sides. Stretch and stretch. Let's come down to the side. We're going to squeeze and lengthen. When you lengthen, make sure that it is coming nice from the core. You are not lifting it up from the knees. So either you can keep the lower leg straight or you can keep it bent. This will not change your leg up, workout for the upper leg. I want you to stretch it nice and tall, straight. Then bring it down, tucking the toes in. Then straight up. So here you go. 3. This movement is happening from right here. Okay? Not from the knees. So nothing like opening and close, but actually the movement from here, your pelvic floor muscle, squeeze. So 3 and bring it down. 4, down. 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. 10 more. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Keep it up. Stretch. Lengthen. Hold. Let's do circles. We'll do circle from here. 1, 2, a slow, centered and controlled circle. Okay? 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Nothing else moves. 8, 9, 10. Anti-clockwise from the back. 1, 2, from the back. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, from the back. 9, 10. 45 degree. Straighten up. Feel that burn already. Anybody who's getting cramp, please take the leg down. Anywhere else, just continue. Here we go. Circles. 1, 2. Have you felt that difference when you are doing it at 90 degree? What muscles are getting squeezed? When you bring it to 45 degree, what muscles are getting squeezed? 3, 4, 5. Squeeze it up. 6, 7, 8. Killer. I know. 9, 10. Push it from the back. 1. From the back. 2, 3, 4, 5, Kill it. 8, 9, 10. Very nice. So you have to feel the movement right through the muscle with the brain connect also. It really changes the way you are using those muscles. Anybody getting a cramp? Do a simple 90-degree hip switch. It will release it completely. So both the side. Squeeze and squeeze. 90-degree hip switches. Relax. Release. Very nice. Let's move through the other side. Tap the ball in level through the spine. Squeeze. Okay. Breathe out. So make sure that your body alignment is nice and tall. You're not falling forward and you do not keep pushing yourself back. Your feet, howsoever, can be a comfortable position, the lower leg. Okay. And is the lower movement. There is no movement like this. Only the upper leg, glutes are on fire. So keep your mind all here. Squeeze, lengthen that leg right from your hip joint. Lengthen that leg right from your hip joint, not from the knees. And then you lift it up. This is toe pointed. And when you bring it in, you're going to stretch. Up, 1, and down. Up, 2, and down. So this is also amazing for your ankle mobility. When you pointing in, do this. Yes, pointed right from the ankles. This is pointed and this is stretched it. So when you bring it up, you pointing, and then when you bring it down, you stretching it and pointed and in and pointed. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 1, 2. The stopping point is not here. The stopping point is on the top. So whenever you're taking that break, when you're taking that breather, it has to be on the top. Hold it at the top. Cramp. Let it be, no worry. Stretch, stretch. See, it has to be a perpendicular line. This has to be a straight move. Let's do 10 more. Pointed, and then when you bring it low, this goes in. 1. Then pointed, and in. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. 90-degree circles. Move it. 1, 2, circle, circle. 3, 4, circle at 90 degrees. 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Anti-clockwise from the back. 1, 2, from the back. 3, pull it up from the back. Circle, anti-clockwise. 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Slow. This has to be slow and centered. The movement has to kill you. Again, 1, 2, 3, circle. 4, 5, 6, any which ways, all the movement. Your hands down, your hands up, your hand up, anything, whatever feels more comfortable. 4, 5, 6, full circle, 7, 8, 9, 10. Anti-clockwise from the back. Pull it up from the back. 1, 2, glutes engage. 3, 4, 5 from the back. 6, 7, 8, 9 from the back. 10. Breathe in. Come back on the mat with your stomach in a prone position. Forward, your palms facing down. Relax up, take a breather. Squeeze your core muscles in. Let's rise up in a cobra, but again, remember, your glutes will be engaged, your toes are pointed up. Squeeze, a nice deep inhale, lengthen that spine out. Elbows pointed back, shoulders rolled up. Long deep inhale. Exhale. Bend. And when you bend over, see your spine. It has to be nice and tall. There is no curve here. No rounding of the spine. It has to be nice and tall. Straight. Good to go? Let's go down. Again, with your hands on the mat. Very good. Squeezing and up. Long deep inhale. Exhale. Again, stretch out. You're going to connect your hips with your ankles. Connect your hips with your ankles. Again, down to the mat. More soft version. Let's do it again. A nice deep inhale. Lengthen that spine. Squeeze and roll up. Exhale. Stretch down. Vertebrae aligned and lengthened. Remember this part. This is the part where you actually round. This is the part where you actually round. This is the part where you have to lengthen. This, this. Get this chest on the mat as we go into a puppy pose. So I want your knees and the hips in the straight line, navel nicely tucked in, puppy pose. See this? This chest is going down, 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 down to the mat. Down to the mat and chin also down to the mat. And stretch. Again, hold it here. Hold for at least 10 breaths. Inhale, exhale. And then slowly rise up. See, the idea again is not to push it to such a level that it becomes rounded. The idea is to push it down to such a level that it gets stretched out. Okay? This is not a movement of a puppy pose. I want you to slide forward. This. Hold again. 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Slide forward. Again. Your palms right under the shoulders. Forehead. Can you feel the stretch here? Like what I'm trying. Here your spine is strong. And this is exactly the place which you have to keep pushing out. Let's do it again. A nice deep inhale. Let's go up in the cobra. Then stretch it out in the child. And then lengthen it out in the puppy. Simple moves, but they are in a complete cycle, lengthening and strengthening your spine, particularly this point, which we are talking, which will help us with the posture is. Yeah. So you both the palms right here around your shoulders, your elbows not out, but squeezed in. Yeah, squeeze, inhale, lift up, look up. Squeeze as you exhale. Lengthen down on the mat. From here, let's stretch it out in the puppy. Stretch, 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 stretch. Here, when the knee and the hips are straight, you want to stretch the hold. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And then slowly get back. All good? Let's start with that. Leg raises. I want you to tuck your core in as you move, but we'll also use a prop here, whether a cushion or a ball. Okay, Pilates ball maybe, or a simple. Okay, we'll do both the movements, leg raises and windmills. Means front and or up and down and side and side. Okay. For the up and down movement, you keep your palms for the support, but side to side is good. So what we're gonna do is let's do a cycle of 10 plus 10. Yeah. So squeeze the ball or a cushion between your legs like this. Forward and go. So here you go. 1, let's start. Squeeze, hold tight. Squeeze the ball between your legs. Support, and here you go. 1 and up. Squeeze the ball. 2, 3, 4, 5. Breathe out. 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. 10 more. 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20. Now, the same movement, but instead of up and down, side to side. So, it's actually easier, but we don't know how to engage our obliques as we don't do it too much. Then maybe the first few, reps feels difficult, but then you'll feel that it is a lot more easier than up and down because it puts less pressure on your spine. That's why I said no support needed. You will squeeze your core when you squeeze side to side. Second, you will not touch the mat. Your legs will stay up in the air all the time. Here we go. Up, squeeze. So you're going to lengthen it to the side without touching the mat. Then lengthen it to the side without touching the mat. Lengthen it to the side. I know it's quite a killer, but few reps and you get the habit. So this goes 2 and 2, 3 and 3, lengthen. 4 and 4. 6, 7 and 7, 8 and 8, 9 and 9, lengthen. 10 and 10. Let's go 10 more. 1. This gets easier. See, I told you, once you get the hang. 2. Squeeze that ball. Nice. 3. And 3. 4. 4. 5. 5. Lengthen through the legs, but not like this. Not falling back on the mat. So not touching the mat at all. The movement will be up and up all the time. So this goes this side, and then you have to rise back up. Take a breather. Hold. How do you breathe? Again, lengthen your legs both the side and to the other side and to the other side. Take a breather. Let's do the second set. Okay, let's do second and third set in one. Straight leg raises, then side to side. Here we go. Engage, lengthen, squeeze. Or we can add one variation. And you know what's the variation? You've played the game passing the parcel. This is passing the parcel, but you're going to pass the parcel from the hands to the legs and back from the legs to the hands. So you're going to lift it up like a dead bug we did some days back. You're going to bring it to the legs and you're going to stretch it out straight, then up, and then straight. Too much pressure on the core? Okay, fine. Let's start with the simple leg raises, but yeah, you're going to slowly come down to that where you actually get into that polo hold when your hands are also up and your legs are also straight up. But slowly, there's no rush. But just to check, I wanted you to try it once to understand. Can you feel your core? Are you working out your core? And when I talk about engagement, is that engagement happening? Let's go. Squeeze, support, and here we go. 1, lengthen. 2, 3, without touching. 4, breathe out. 5, squeeze. 6, squeeze. 7, 8, 9, 10. 1, breathe out. 4, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Take a breather. Again, when you're breathing, feel that movement coming right from your core. Okay, keep your one palm here, another palm here. Relax up. So I'm doing 10 plus 10. I'm like doing the second and the third set together. You can take absolute breather, like do 10 reps, take a breather, then do another 10 reps, like that. Let's do side to side also. Tucking the core in, lengthening through the spine, squeeze, engage. And see if you have to move, rush through both side and side. Here we go. Taking the core in, lengthening through the spine. Side. So this is side and side without touching the mat. Side and side. 2 and 2. 3 and 3. Breathe out. 4 and 4. 5. It's absolutely okay if you want to do it without any prop. But make sure that you're not touching the mat. This has to come back from here. 6, 7, 7, 8, 8, 9, 9, 10, 10. Breathe out, let it go. Very good. I'll just hear the music and let's do the cool down. So all these moves which actually challenges you, cool down becomes a very important part. Slowly rub your palms over to your eyes. Thanks so much, everyone. Have a rocking day. I'll see you tonight. Take care.
Thank you, Meenal. And we are signing off for the day. Thank you so much, everyone. But do not forget to share the daily task that been given to you. Thank you.